born in light, raised in darkness. Wildheart for eternity.
Welcome everyone to Wildheart Session 2. Last session we had some introduction, some role-playing mostly, well, quite exclusively. They met the eccentric halfling named Crispo, and they were relieved from his service shortly thereafter. We find our adventurers in the town of Grimslante, and currently up to no goods. No. Some of them more than other. But Joel's character is trying to investigate something that he finds suspicious, at least. And we take it from there, more or less. So, Eoden is currently on a tavern, trying to listen to what the word is and waiting for something to happen with the suspicious wares.
He eventually finds out that the bird is the word.
It is the word.
It's very true. I guess I just wait a while and see if anybody moves anything out.
Alright. Meanwhile, we have Kane's character, Bernard.
Yes.
What are Bernard up to?
We had... Where had we just stopped?
It was a bit of an abrupt ending, but it's basically after you spoke with the rich merchant that offered you a job, one that he didn't specifically give any information about, but a potential job offering later in the evening. And you basically split after that, doing what now you wanted to.
Alright. For the time being, if we've just got time in town, Bernard is going to set up the wagon and try and hawk some spices before we have to move on again. I'm a little short on pocket money, so selling something would be helpful.
A little short. We got paid like 30 pieces of gold for just like a day.
You do
But
not
Aiden was
understand,
very
Bane. You
happy.
can never have too much gold.
I don't
Anything
know.
less than unfathomably wealthy is poor.
Just
Well,
different shades of poor.
Different shades of poor. I like the poor that can buy all they drink and all the women. That is the type of poor that I like. Don't have to have.
You're not that kind of poor.
Well, you may not be that kind of poor. I never seem to have any trouble.
Yes, no comment.
Maybe it is your beard. Have you cleaned your beard lately?
They just think Bane likes endurance. Or taste.
Hey, the ladies that I like are not bad looking. No, they look wonderful. just in different ways. I have an elf in one city, a couple humans in another 2 cities, and I have others, you know?
After all.
Hey, she is beautiful and has wonderful personality. You do not disrespect Asta.
Asta, is that her name?
Asta, yes, Asta.
Oh. But yeah, that's what Bernard is doing.
Yeah. So you can make a like a trade roll, depending on what you have.
I suppose it would be profession.
That would be it.
Did we know what Joel was investigating? Seriously, I'm gonna have to write down these names. I am an embarrassment.
He wandered off by himself. He's like, I'll be back later, guys. Was basically what we got from him.
Yeah.
Bane doesn't bother questioning him about it. I mean, he always seemed to take care of himself, so.
I'm busy roguing it up. Respect the roguery.
Is that the accepted vernacular? Roguery?
Roguelation? Rogosity? If you're making money while you do it, it's rogaine.
That explains the hairy palms.
Alright, so you managed to set up
Only
shop,
unbait.
and it's very busy, and there are a lot of potential customers. Most of them pass by, but you get a good number of interesting buyers coming and going.
Spices, honeys, flour.
Maple syrup!
Syrup that'll make your teeth fall out. I mean, like, not all at once, but if you eat too much of it, it's very sweet. It's what I'm getting.
And then we have Bane, who was going to the ale house, was it? Or was it something else he was up to?
Well, he sent money back home
Oh yeah.
through the courier. But then after that, he was going to the ale house that he hoped had whores in it too. But he wasn't sure.
Right.
But-
There was a whole discussion about that.
Right. So he'll see when he gets there, but his main goal is the ale house. He's still slightly concerned about drinking too much while Bernard is not there, because Bernard had convinced him on the boat that he would eventually not be able to taste alcohol and stuff like that and enjoy alcohol if he drank too much of it at one time. So he's only moderately drinking. You know, he's not even hit his first flagon yet, so he thinks he's okay.
This is true. You drink too much, you cannot taste.
So Bane sits down in the ale house. They do appear to serve women as well.
Haha!
Not as a primary trade, but a secondary. The ale comes first.
Of course,
Are
they
the
serve
ladies-
women as long as they pay.
Are the ladies lovely looking, or is he gonna have, or is he gonna, is it a lights out type of thing, or what?
Said the
Hey,
pig
honey,
man.
Hey, honey, blow out that candle. What's your charisma? 8? Yeah, the ladies love you.
Hey, One of them does. One of them.
Yeah, because you put gold in her hand every time.
I don't know. I think the half troll really cares for him, but that's DM's discretion.
All right.
Well, the women are quite lovely. They are a fair sight for tired eyes.
Jesus.
Oh, something to keep me busy later after I am done. He keeps. He makes sure that he tips at least a gold piece occasionally, so that he can be known as a good tipper for people.
Oh, considering how much money the people in this alehouse probably make, you're probably attracting like a lot of attention. Just
He's
throwing
never
gold
worried
around.
about that, though.
Aoden sees like all the local thieves running towards this one alehouse.
Yeah. Gotta get there fast, man.
What the hell is going on?
You hear a high-pitched squeal. No, not really.
No, but there are people flocking a bit. Not like around you, but in the alehouse it's getting more crowdier as you spend your gold
Rowdy.
more and more. The Jarl's men actually passes by more than once to kind of keep an eye on things. But other than that, it seems like it's not gonna happen anything. Not for now, at least.
If he doesn't spend at least one night in jail during this whole adventure, he's not playing his character, right?
It won't be for lack of trying, but the big guy may get us out of jail. So I do not promise.
Right. So time passes, and it's getting to about after lunch. Bane is drinking and having a good time. Meanwhile, Bernard is selling spices, and
It's all about the money.
yeah, Eoden is still trying to get something out of this, but the wares doesn't seem to leave the ale house, and the company is thinning out, you could say. It's as if the competition was greater somewhere else, and people are leaving the establishment over time.
If nothing seems to be moving immediately and it's getting on towards like meeting time and that kind of stuff, I'm gonna head out towards our agreed upon establishment.
All right.
Bernard is, I don't know, probably one of you will have to come get him, or he will just keep trying to sell.
How far is the ale house that Bane's in from where Bernard is?
It's not too far. You can probably keep the mug.
Okay. So Bane will kind of get up. Pardon me, ladies. And he gets the... He's tried to have at least one bar winch on his knee by the time he finished, you know, half a flagon or something like that. So he gets up. Ought to get a friend. He's spending time doing work or something. He stumbles to the door. I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't worry. Don't worry. And he
Promise.
promises on. I have no honor, but on me. So he kind of gets to the door, pushes it open, looks for Bernard, and goes. He finally sees him, and he doesn't go to him. He just yells, "Bernard!"
He does that thing where
Bernard!
a parent asks you to like tell your mother something, and you just yell at her from the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
Go get your sister for dinner. Becky! Mom says it's time to eat! While you're standing 2 feet away from her.
Yeah.
Something like
there.
that, yeah.
Done that.
He sort of like swivels around in the wagon until he sees you, because you're like probably a good head taller than everyone else around.
Most of them, buddy. He's pretty tall.
He like holds out a hand and he just tries to like make a couple other like little skeevy deals. Grabbing some coins out of some hands and throwing bags of, you know, whatever, flour, honey, salt. He's like, I have to go, there's no more, stay, all deals are final, bye-bye!
Quit selling your maple syrup and get your sweet dwarven rump over here. They have wonderful ale and beautiful women. What are you waiting on? Either me.
I cannot. No. There are no refunds. I have to go. I am going now. We're going. Bye.
But.
This sugar smells funny.
It's because it comes from trees. I'm gonna ride over on the elk.
Oh yes.
Majestic elk.
It's a lot easier to cut through a crowd when you're on the back of an animal than when you're 4.5 feet tall.
The people seem mostly interested in your companion rather than in your wares, but
Mm-hmm. Hey, if letting them like pet flocks makes the deal, that's how we're gonna do it.
From down the street, see him riding above the crowd. Him and that damned elk.
Bane will look
Would have been too
around
easy.
looking for. Bane will look around looking for Eldon and be like, Eldon! He'll lean out halfway, holding on to the door. Hurry up! I've picked you out a woman already!
The last time you did that, she was more than half troll.
Well, this time is different!
Well, this time she's probably all troll.
No, this time, no troll, promise! You're not troll, right? He leans in.
only if you
She
want
says
to be.
she's not troll!
Green, big haunches, dress that doesn't fit. Pretty sure it's Anne.
Hairy knuckles.
I cannot have a good time with this woman. She has more hair than I do.
Most people have more hair than you do.
I can't help it the chainmail pinches.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It'd be weird if Eldon was just like completely hairless.
He's completely hairless for the sexy part of it. What's
Nordic
this?
man's
Oil?
What?
Oh, yes, oil everywhere. Oh. That's for your 1% female watchers.
All 0.5 of them.
Yeah. So you gather in the ale house, and it is quite crowded. And Eoden, you recognize some of the faces. They seem to have simply swapped location.
Wonder why they all came over here.
Why do people come here, you say? Well, because they have wonderful women. And Bane didn't fully catch what you said, so he assumed.
How much of your earnings have you spent here already?
What earnings?
Nope. That's his share. I'm not giving him any of mine, not this time.
I don't know how much money has he spent by now.
Well, it depends how much you're tipping, but if you said you're tipping one per, then you probably spent like...
Not one per drink, one
Oh.
occasionally, like one every 3 or 4 drinks.
Yeah.
That's still a lot.
So you probably have spent like 5 gold.
Like 2 copper is a generous tip, and you're spending like gold.
Hey, he's not about the money. He's about the time that you're having.
I'm going to use sense motive on these blokes that are all around us. I got an 11. I don't care if anybody's going to rob his ass or not.
Yeah. Some seems to be there for business, otherwise others for pleasure.
Speaking of which, Bane will try to get a roll in the hay with one of the ladies before they have the meeting.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, you can roll a charm.
Charm?
Yeah.
Charisma or diplomacy if you got it. Or bluff. I guess
I'm
it depends
guessing
on
bluff.
your... I guess it really depends on your mode of approach.
True. You can also
The mode of
force her by intimidating, but
the mode of approach is more, I've got gold. That's kind of the approach, but that he's taking.
oh yeah,
Copy. Bonuses for bribing.
there will be bonuses for bribing.
Okay, so
However-
diplomacy would probably be the best one, because he's not going to make somebody do something.
However, the lower you roll, the closer to one of the more exotic humanoids they tend to be.
I rolled a 5!
You are freaking
Minus
mean.
1. So it's a 4.
-1.
So
Well,
it's a 4.
And we wondered why you got a half troll.
I mean, you're not really making the best of impressions, and the extra gold that you're willing to spend isn't really sufficient for anyone to take your offer there. So you are politely being rejected.
Alright, I want to make a sense motive on the crowd, because he's making a fool of himself.
Oh, and he goes, oh, and he goes over to Bernard while he's checking out the crowd. Bernard, she said no. Oh,
She said no.
Why?
You put that money away.
Am I not worth loving, Bernard? Look at me, Bernard. Look at me in face. Am I not worth loving? Look at me.
I am really the wrong person to be asking this question.
We don't have to look at you. All we have to do is smell you.
I bathed 2 days ago, but I bathed.
That's actually pretty good for him.
Walking through the sea spray does not count as bathing.
Counts as shower.
I guess it does if he stands there.
That would imply that you used lies.
No one said that was a requirement.
And also, your fur smell like wet animal.
It's because they are wet animals. You go through the water, they're wet. They're an animal.
And you
do
still
you have
can't
the
use
Roll20 extension open, Alex?
I do.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
And no, you still cannot use my grooming kit.
Ah, well, first you say I stink, then you not help me at all. No one cares about poor babe.
Dale, then why do you have grooming kit? You have no hair. We just talked about this.
That's why he has the grooming kit.
Oh yeah, it's just razors and oil.
Right. Razors, body oil.
God forbid we ever get a servant. That's going to be the only thing he does.
Aoden gets a servant to do nothing but shave him.
Pour the oil on me.
You don't know what he wants.
In the wilderness doesn't mean I don't take care of myself.
You don't want to know
Very
what he
well
does when
voiced,
he had somebody special over and that some maple syrup just goes missing. You just don't want to know.
Oh, it doesn't go. You better pay for it. Don't care what he uses it for afterwards.
It's not the maple syrup that drives the women wild. It's the honey.
Well, Bernard, you notice that some are taking a great interest in the flashing of coin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some aren't.
Yeah, I know. Ben, I think perhaps you should put that money away. Or give it to me for safekeep.
Why?
You have
Wait,
already spent
wait.
very much.
Wait. He says, last time gave you money, you took it. And when I wanted it back, you said no because you knew how to use it better and better investment and all the type of stuff. You remember what happened with last investment?
Yes, I believe it went very well for all of us.
That was not investment. That was job. That was
I
job.
use money to pay for transportation. We get job. We get paid for job.
That's capital. It's capital, not pay percentage. He starts to
This
put
is
his
why
gold
you
trying to keep
you
it.
got larger share last time. This is why.
He points his eyes at his own eyes, and then points his finger at his own eyes, and then points him at Bernard. What's you? And he puts his gold up, trying to keep it from Bernard instead of from everybody else.
Okay.
And then he does come close, and he says, Bernard, I have drank half flagon plus. Is that too much?
What? If he's tipping like every 3 like drinks, he's like 15 flagons in. That's a lot more than half a flagon plus. It's like half a flagon plus 14 and a half flagons.
He's not keeping track. He kind of
That's-
lost
I-
track.
They're keeping track for him.
If you, how many? Excuse me, miss. How many has he had?
Half flagon, maybe.
Just a handful.
Like, could you count them on your fingers?
Oh, I'm terribly busy. I'm sorry. I have drinks to serve. And she scuttles away.
All right, that's it. You're cut off.
What?
That's it.
I am not helping to pay for your share of the bill again.
What? Hey, that was one time. Just one time.
Too many.
Okay, twice. Twice. But
You cost me 20 gold.
okay, 3 times. But it won't happen again because
Yeah, because you're cut off.
no.
Yes.
Starting to pout. No.
Where's this goddamn gnome?
He says, going off into the corner to finish the last of what he's got.
And you notice that there is an awful lot of children in here. And they're being shunned to the fireplace where a elderly man in very exotic style of clothing. He has pelts, and it looks like he's trying a little bit too hard to look strange.
Mhm. He's an old mummer.
And he
He's the
kinda-
ringleader of pickpockets.
He herds them together at the fireplace. Oh yes, children and grown-ups if you want to. I should tell you the story, the legend.
Stories? Bane gets up and starts to go over there. Stories, you guys! Stories! Wonderful. Sits down by
Huh?
Bane sits down with the kids. He doesn't he just pop right there with them.
And as you're doing that, he kind of gets up to make sure that you don't hurt any of the other children as you're just falling down next to them or sitting down violently. Oh, all right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I won't squish anybody today. I won't squish anybody. These halflings are fine.
Oh, just be quiet.
Goes, oh, shh, at the kids that he's calling halflings.
And they look at you.
Who's this fucking guy?
As you know, your mothers and, well, yes, your fathers and mothers, if you know. Anyway, the legend, children, of the forest. The forest, the gigantic forest we call Wildheart.
Oh, use the title.
Does this mean it's going to be important? Should I write this down?
I don't know. Will it be important?
You see, few dare to go under Wildheart's embracing branches, and for good reason too. Why?
And he looks out to the crowd of children.
And Bane.
Because no one comes back. Yes, that's right. No one comes back. No one.
Spooky.
And through skulls like myself, the myths and mysteries of Wildheart has been passed on for as long as we know it. Around warm fires like this one, and enclosed in darkness, you can hear the saga of Wildheart. No one knows the forest full force and secrets, but I do. I do. I shall share with you today a little secret. You see, some speak of buried treasure, gold, silver, while others talk about ancient cults where their worships have harnessed great magic power. But most whisper. They whisper of sudden death and the forest devouring the wanderer's soul.
And you see that the children are clumping up together, shaking ever slightly.
But I shall tell you what I know. Inside the core of the forest, there is a spring. The water makes you immortal.
Bane's eyes get nice and big this time.
Ooh.
What does immortal mean? What? Oh, you live forever. You don't die. You can be as old as the forest is for hundreds, thousands of years.
Bane starts to get up and go over to Bernard, and he's like, Bernard, we need to go somewhere.
What? Why?
Because I want to be immortal, Bernard. I want to be immortal.
No, you don't tell me you believe in that hokum story.
It's not Holcomb story, he's Scold. Ancient spirits. Talk through him.
Yes.
To tell us.
Yes, fountain in the forest forever.
Yes.
Very impressive story for children. And the slightest belief
halflings were
that the
buying
real...
it.
Also,
Those are
stories
children.
for fools.
What?
But remember, children, do not enter the forest. You will never come out and see your father and your mother again.
That's right. You halflings stay out of the forest and away from my water. Eldon, my friend, he says, putting his arm around Eldon.
I am not buying you any
Don't-
drinks.
Don't you want to live forever too?
That sounds like more bother than it's worth.
No to wine, women, and song forever. Until Ragnarok. Will that not be good?
I would rather earn my honored place in the drinking halls.
Oh, can have the drinking halls here. No one will go. Party poopers. He sits down again. Thinking of something, he gets back up. You know, Bernard, he said something about gold.
Again, if I believed that this fountain were real, I would have already tried my hand at finding it. Can you imagine the kind of money people would pay to be immortal?
Well, have you ever gone looking?
Would knowledge local help me out with anything with this?
To know what more specifically?
I'm not even sure what to ask. I got a 22 on knowledge local, but is this all there is to this rumor, or is there anything with more substance to it?
Well, I mean, it is a vague myth that has been passed around for no one knows how long. And it is different every time you hear it. Sometimes it's more about gold and riches, other times there are just horrible beasts, demons, other times there are a city inside the borders of the forest that some magical beings govern. It is different, and it's really hard to tell if anything is true. But
I know this is an older local tale.
yeah, but people do avoid the forest, and for some reason, the few that enters do not come back.
Stupid wanderers getting broken legs and dying in the forest.
See, and we are not stupid wanderers.
No, that is why you guys hire me, for my sensibility to keep you out of such situations.
See, that is why they did not succeed. They did not have Eldon slapping you on the back. That is why we will succeed. Yes?
We will succeed in finding regular work that actually pays.
Oh, regular work is boring. A bandit here, maybe a half troll, maybe a
regular work is profitable.
He says,
Does not send us into the woods on the wild goose chase.
I see no geese. I hear about golden eggs, though.
You know this is same.
You know that story ends badly for the goose, right?
Well, let us not be goose then.
No, that is fair. Ben is more of a ham.
Aye. Aren't we supposed to meet somebody?
That's what I was saying.
Yes, real work, not flight of fancy.
Maybe he knows something about the mortality pool.
He can't even say the word, and he wants to drop everything to go off into the woods.
I would worry if he could say it properly. Then I might actually take him serious.
Hey, listen. I have had 10 flagons, and I am well.
Pickled.
What
Yes,
is
I know.
My vernacular is fine for what it is.
Leave these stories and tales for the Outlanders. For them to chase after and go die in the woods. No offense, Bernard.
Yeah. That's it, just there.
Apparently you and I have gone over the conversation of the gods more than a time or two.
Probably. It's probably come up.
Fine. All you two are party poopers. I am good sometime. But right now, I have to pee. And he started walking.
All right. So you want to leave the alehouse to meet the merchant?
Yes. That's what I would like to do.
All right.
Make sure I have everything before we go.
You can all make a perception check.
And at 20.
18. Oh, imagine the Aeden's is better.
Yeah, mine's a 29.
I got a modified 20.
As you are just getting out, Aiden, you notice that two of the people in here are motioning to each other as they are walking towards Bane.
Is there a serving winch or anything nearby carrying anything?
You can grab one, yeah?
I'm going to accidentally stumble into one and cast her drinks upon them.
Alright. You can make a sleight of hand check, I think. Be good.
Not one of my better ones. 18.
You manage to make the drinks fall upon them, and in the meantime look innocent in the act.
Oh, I'm so sorry, so sorry.
Now I am not paying for your drinks, says
Too much
Bane
meat,
as he
too much
continues to
meat.
walk out.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Let me dab that from you.
Take his purse?
Let me dab that for you, Shank.
I grab the wench's dress
I'm
and I
alright.
start trying to dab his shirt with.
no,
dress?
it's okay. Don't no.
He's making a damn mess of it.
I pull out like 2 silver, enough for a drink. Oh, here, this is the last of my coin. Get yourself a drink.
Yeah, just stop. Just thank you. Stop. Just
I'm still like trying to dab at it with the wench's skirt.
And she kind of pulls her skirt out of your grasp, like, and gives you a look, and
Nice legs. And then I proceed
Hey,
to
she's giving everyone a free show.
weave out.
And you manage to get out without anything happening.
Amateurs.
I was going to fight them, but whatever. That's your thing.
We didn't even know they were there.
I got a modified 20. I may have known. I don't know. If I didn't know, I won't say that.
I mean, you noticed that they were walking towards you, but you didn't really catch the gestures that they were in cahoot.
Then I won't say anything.
So you make your way out of the alehouse. Some of the wenches wave goodbye to Bane.
Bye. Love you, ladies. Mwah. Mwah. Next time. Next time. Oh, yeah.
Wasted good money.
Gives the mug back.
Wasted good money.
And they
Wow, it was not a waste. I feel wonderful, and it is time to go.
smile
sorry, he was
politely,
mostly talking to himself.
and you're making your way into the center of the city. The scenery changes quite quickly. Now you're actually beginning to see more like proper structures and more decorated houses with engravings of religious meaning and stone houses, which is a very big symbol of wealth to actually have a house made out of stone instead of wood.
Mhm.
And you are walking up to the largest of them, where the local jarl actually has a small outpost outside with 2 guards.
Okay.
Good day. What brings you?
Hello, gentlemen. Me and my compatriots are here to meet with Egg Big Dumb.
Reglum. Remlug.
Riglug.
Remlug.
Someone. Gremlug. We have to meet with Gremlug.
Remlug, you fool.
I said Gremlug.
I thought they said Egg Big Dumb. Who is Egg Big Dumb?
Yes, who is a big dumb?
Sorry, different acquaintance. I know so many people.
Oh, campaign slip.
Whoops. That was not NPC from other game.
You know how I got his name? Vince was trying to be funny. He took Iggy, shortened it to Ig, took Big and Dummy, so Ig Big Dumb. That's what Vince did.
Yeah. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you take notes when you have a functional brain. Very bad. It's no good for anything.
Mr. Toro is inside. I shall see if he is available.
Yes, and thank you kindly.
I
And
hope he is, since he asked us out here.
he shoots a look at the other guard and walks in to the I suppose you could call it a manor house.
Mhm.
And the other guard kind of stands there, looking bored, looking you up and down.
Being a guard pay well.
It has its benefits.
Who makes your steel?
What?
Your steel. Gestures vaguely at the armor and weapons.
Oh, I don't know. It's provided to me. Comes with
Really?
the job.
This guy really is loaded.
So wait. You're telling me that this guy pays you to be here, and he provides you with your equipment?
Yeah,
Meals?
twice a day.
Eowyn looks at Bernard.
Bernard, why do we not get meals twice a day?
Because you don't make any money. You spend all your money on drinks and whores.
Hey, he gets paid to be standing here, not doing anything. Look at this town.
Hey.
Nothing he's doing.
Oh, he's doing something. He's very productive.
Yes, this fine gentleman here is a source of intimidation to keep out in you, people like you.
I can be intimidating.
You can't
That's
even say
that's why he's here to keep people like you out.
Wait. What? He gets to be
I
paid to
hire-
be intimidating, and I am not? And he gets...
You are.
He gets 2 meals a day, plus he gets paid. Do you get room and board too?
Yeah.
Oh, see? Look at this. You are not paying us enough.
How do you think I would do this? You think I have folding house that I keep in my pocket?
I don't know. Maybe. We don't know. You are not trustworthy. See, he gets paid.
And you,
Lots of money. Stand around.
how much? What
I
did you?
bet he could buy ale for however many days, because he doesn't have to buy all of his room and board and his food.
I pay for so many things already. I buy food and ration and wine. You drink all of the wine, and then there is no more wine for anybody else.
No. Don't try to sell that to me. I know that you buy, but I know you buy rations and drink for travel on company.
Aiden stands
Does
next to
not
Bernard,
come
crosses
out of
his
your
arms,
share.
smirks. You see what they do for entertainment around here?
What do you mean? It's my company. It's my wagon. It's my horses. It's my giant elk. These are all things that belong to me, and I pay you.
So see, you get much more share than we do, because company buys all your stuff.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Your company does buy
I
all your
am
stuff.
not dumb.
Oh, you're something.
Aiden's just sitting there grinning at them now. Like, fully entertained. He caused his bit of chaos. He's happy.
The guard looks kind of uncomfortable being in your presence when you're like arguing so wildly. But he tries not to show his demeanor.
Mhm.
And within a moment later, the other guard comes out. He nods, and the first guard comes up to him and kind of whispers in his ear. You can roll perception if you want to try and catch anything.
Oh yeah.
Aw. 16.
Ooh, I got a 19 plus.
Oh, crit! Crit!
Ooh. Well,
27.
Yeah, I almost critted. So yep.
I would suggest that we leave 2 of them outside. Well, at least one of them outside.
and the other one just
No, they're all supposed to be in there. You'll have to take care of the elk and take it to the stables. Like, oh, come on. Do I have to?
It is quite alright. He will be fine by himself.
What? No, sorry. We
The
were
elk.
discussing something.
Oh yes, I know. Flux, come here. You're going to wait down at the end of line. You're going to leave these nice men alone. Do not give them any trouble. Huh? You just sort of like, yeah.
whatever they sound.
Make an elk noise. And bow in ascension.
Well, he's talking to the elk. I'm sitting there like this to the guards.
You know, when you undermine my authority like that, it really hurts the business.
I'll hold your horses while you're in there. And you are being led.
Don't let him hear you call him horse. He does not like.
You just say that because he bit you last week.
He bit me last week because I called him horse.
I think it is because you had mead on your shirt.
And I called him horse.
Wait, are you implying that my elk eats meat?
Mead.
Oh, meat.
Honey wine.
Ah.
I tell you what, we were having good conversation. He had his cup of mead, I had my cup of mead. And he and I were just having conversation, and I slip and call him horse once, and he bite me.
Why were you giving Flux drink?
Let's go in. Let's go in.
Please do, gentlemen. Please. We don't want the big man to be waiting.
Alright.
I'm not sure if he meant that as a joke or not.
And you walk into the manor house. It has fine carpets.
I mean, you get it? They called him Big Manny because he's fat.
And you see that in the entrance, 2 servants are standing there waiting for you.
Please. Can we take your coats?
They reach out their arms.
Yeah. So who is squeaking?
I'm sorry, my dog.
Oh.
They're like,
I was like, is that the servants? Are they making that noise? That's alarming.
those are some weird servants. They must be like halflings.
Squeaking servants.
They're rat folk.
Yeah, actually, that rat folk are bigger. They would have a deeper squeak, wouldn't they? Rat folk sound like chew toys.
Oh, what do you want to think about that? Yes, yeah, thank you very much.
You hear a
Can't help it,
squeaky
he's
toy
an-
in the night, and you're like, "What was that? What was that?"
I can't help it. He's an overgrown puppy.
No, I had said that rat folk would have deeper squeaks, so they would sound a lot like a squeaky toy. So then you hear one in the night, and it's like,
I don't own a dog.
Russ's?
which makes it all the more terrifying when you hear it, Kane.
No, well, that's. I own a dog, but I don't own a dog that can fight a rat, folks. You got it like a German Shepherd.
That's what mine is.
So one of them takes your coats if you let him. The other one motions you to follow him.
I'll give him my coat. It's warm in here. Stone walls.
I don't have a coat.
Oh,
He's got his ratty ass fur.
Yeah, trust me, you don't want to touch that. The smell would be on your heads for days.
I see. That's unfortunate.
I will keep my cloak, thank you.
Certainly.
It's just me then.
Only the polite one.
And
Hey man, I have to take the cloak off to show how fancy my vestments are.
And you're being led in to a room with a big fireplace and large chairs with lots of pelts on them. And in one of them, the bigger one, the merchant Remlog sits. Yes, come, sit. Take a piece of cheese and wine. He motions to the small tray.
Thank you, this is very kind of you. We are here to discuss business, yes?
Yes, business, yes. And he takes out a ledger.
This is good cheese.
It is, it is.
Oh? No, go first.
Ben, please do not talk with your mouth full.
Okay.
So, I have a wagon that needs to be collected. Think you could assist me with that?
Retrieval is not normally our specialty, but I'm certain we could manage it. What's in this wagon that we will be retrieving? And moreover, where is this wagon?
Yes, the wagon broke down around Grimm's Hills just the other day. And the people moving it couldn't fix it, so they simply left it there to be retrieved.
Are some bad employees.
Was this caused by bad road, or...?
The details I'm not quite sure about. One of the wheels broke, and it could have been some sort of a manufacturing error or harsh weather conditions.
Never trust a Wainwright, my mother always used to say.
You will have to make sure of the axles of the wagon before we are going down this road.
Yes,
Do you need the whole wagon or just the contents?
I'd prefer to have the whole wagon, of course. The content is what I am in need of.
Okay, real quick timeout. Can anyone here fix a wagon?
Everybody's got craft, but whether they're actually decent at it is.
Does anyone have craft woodworking?
I have craft scrimshaw.
Well, making pretty bone art isn't going to help me fix a wagon.
Yeah, but you sold something.
Basically, whoever's got the highest intelligence, they get a intelligence bonus to it. Is what it is.
Oh, good.
Unless it's a profession.
Yeah, you might not be able to like repair a wagon, but you might be able to change parts, like a wheel.
Yeah. That's the other thing I was thinking. We'll just have to bring a new axle and wheels.
Can I use craft? Can I use craft traps to jury rig it? I mean, other than that, I don't know.
I booby trap the wheel.
Oh.
Yeah, now we're definitely gonna fall off again.
I'm probably the only one with any kind of crafting skill at all.
All right. Yeah, I traded my crafting for extra diplomacy. Yes, we will. We'll have to go to a. What do you call someone who makes wagons?
Wainwright.
A Wainwright. We will have to go to a Wainwright to secure additional parts. He's speaking more to Eodin and Bane than to the merchant.
Are we supposed to supply the parts? He says, glancing over at the merchant.
Oh, no. Certainly we have parts you can take with you.
See, the businessman knows. He says, slant-eyed at Bernard.
Your face will stick like that. You keep making it.
Anyway. Now, exactly what kind of compensation might we expect for the completion? And of course, if we are to run into complications on the way there.
That means hazard pay.
I'm well aware of hazard pay.
It occurs to me that if the contents of these wagons are of a valuable nature, they may have been arrested by certain third parties. And if we are to handle these contents away from them to return them to you, this may occur additional fees.
Yes, I see. Well, I am offer you 100 gold for the retrieval of the carriage with its contents.
Each?
No. Completely up to you how many men you need. The price will not be
just
changed.
the three of us should do. I'd like to haggle him up to like 120 so we can actually split it 3 ways.
Alright, we can try that.
It's 22.
Kind of thinks for a second. These are harsh times, and I do need that. Alright. 120.
I always knew you were a good merchant, Bernard.
Of course I am good merchant. This will also be covering hazard pay, gaining extraneous circumstances, and the unexpected loss of life.
Terrific.
Loss of life would not be important if we were immortal, says Bane under his breath, but loud enough that loud enough that the other two could probably hear it.
You and your children's stories.
It's okay. We can hire a new pig.
There is none other than me. I am only Droirugar Bane, he says, chomping down on a piece of meat or something.
Yes, you definitely are unique.
Did you have a deadline in mind? I'm assuming we will be leaving tomorrow.
Yes, preferably. Well, we are reaching winter soon, which means that the wagon will be impossible to move. So that's your deadline. Get it here before it's impossible.
Where is Wagon?
It's
He's secretly thinking in his head, please be by Wildheart, please be by Wildheart, please be by Wildheart.
Oh, it's up a hill. He mentioned something hill.
It's around the Grimm's Hills. About it should take you maybe 2 days.
Is that the Grimskular?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there an actual...
It's not too far from Wildheart, he says, taking another nibble of cheese.
It is too far from fanciful flights, is what it is too far from.
Pardon my friend, he heard Wild Skull tale about riches in Wildheart, and now he won't drop matter.
Well, you can probably go there after you retrieve my carriage.
Or not at all.
Nobody wants to
he
be
says-
immortal but me.
He says, glaring at me.
Well then, I think we have hammered out the details. And he scribbles down on his ledger.
Can we receive copy of agreement?
Certainly.
See, Bernard, I learned things from you.
Yes.
Will it say somewhere in there that we get a party when we get back? No, 100 gold and a party.
And he gives you a copy and asks you to sign both copies of it.
Alright, I want to double check what the contract says. It's the amount I agreed upon.
It is the
Was the
amount
one-
you agreed upon.
Okay.
The contract basically says that the three of you, your names are to retrieve wagon in the ownership of Remlog Toril within the week.
Within the allotted time.
It is expected to be delivered within 7 days,
Mm-hmm.
and the compensation is 120 gold, excluding, that is included with hazard fees and all of that. And it doesn't appear to be anything shady with the contract. It is basically what you have agreed upon.
Alright. I'll put my mark on it.
Oh, excellent.
What, he looks over at Bernard. What does inoperata mortem mean?
It means if you die, you don't get paid.
Oh, okay.
That kind of makes sense.
It's quite hard to pay a dead man.
If they come back and I don't, my share, he says looking at Bernard, goes to family. Yeah?
Okay,
Okay.
we can do that. Eventually. Probably. If I remember. And it's convenient. Should the mood strike me.
All right. We have talk to have. This is going in new contract between you and me. You write something up.
Can you
Oh, yes,
These are smart pants.
I will get right on it.
Well done, gentlemen.
He
Unless
swings down some wine and grabs another couple pieces of cheese. It's very
Plus,
good cheese.
you're looking for the wine and it's almost gone.
Unless there's anything else, I believe our business is finished for now.
Yes, we are concluded. We will return within the week with the promised goods.
Excellent.
It was probably good wine, and Bane and I are too churlish to understand how good it was.
That's a good word,
It
churlish.
was wine.
Just let my servants know what you need to replace the wagon to function, and they will provide.
Is your elk going to pull it? He's already
suppose.
told me he doesn't like dragging around your stuff, but...
Yes, well, if it is necessary, he will earn his keep also.
Yes, but we might want to ask for extra horses to bring along to pull said wagon. Be necessary for the retrieval.
Maybe. Lux is very
Unless-
big, though.
Unless you plan on leaving your wagon here.
No, does not be ridiculous.
I thought
He
not.
may meet someone along the way that needs maple syrup or honey.
I can spare a donkey or two.
Thank you very much. This will be a great help.
As long as I get my wares, always happy to help.
Of course, you have hired the best. That's it. I guess we'll leave.
Yeah. So you are provided with 2 donkeys and the appropriate wagon parts.
Mhm.
Oh, are we spending the night at the Silk Tavern tonight?
Yes, I do not plan to leave tonight.
All right, Silk Tavern it is.
And you need to sleep off that inevitable hangover.
Ah, we are going to the Silk Tavern. I am not sure how much sleeping I will be doing.
I don't know, judging from your last attempts, it will cost more gold than you have.
Hey, Asta has never turned me down. Wonderful woman.
And the guard seems pleased as you are leaving.
We will be back within the week.
That's not
For the party.
That's not going to
He
be
says-
my shift then. That's for sure.
We'll just wait for him. Where's Steve?
Well, he called in sick.
Oh no, we should go visit him and make sure he's okay.
Yeah. One of
Why, hello, Steve.
Bring him some
Hello.
soup and a ridiculous argument that has no end.
Hello. Hello, Clarice.
Alright, so you make it to the tavern.
Well, Bane wanted to go to the Silk Tavern, the specific one that
Mhm.
Asta was at.
Yeah, you can go there.
Okay.
You others coming with or splitting up?
If we don't
Yes.
go with him, he is going to,
He's gonna get robbed.
and then he won't wake up in the morning on time, and he will cost us valuable time. And he will get robbed.
Alright.
I am not responsible for him doing the half troll, though. My responsibility ends there.
I would hope so, he says, just picking up his pace a little bit.
He whispers to Bernard, "You know she only makes time for him because he is only one that requests her by name."
Yes, but no one is going to tell him this. It would break his tiny, fragile barbarian heart. Besides, someone
The
has
party
to love him.
members are protecting. The party members are protecting the feelings of their poor little barbarian.
Well, you're very emotional.
I suppose even half trolls need love.
And pigmen.
And payment. Especially payment.
Pigmen.
Yeah, I said pigmen.
Oh, I thought you said payment.
Well, they also need payment, so.
I was like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Alright, we can take a quick break.
OT?
We'll just leave the recording on and edit it out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Gonna do it in one installment this time.
Yeah, I figured it would be easier.
Yeah.
Probably like, holy crap, this thing's an hour and a half long. Wait, there's two of them?
Yeah.
What the
There's
fuck?
more!
Yeah, these are like 3 hour long dealies.
Yep.
Oh, thank you for running this, Alex. This one's interesting.
Well, hopefully it gets more interesting soon. We haven't even, like, started.
We haven't even fought anything yet, haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah. Just good RP.
That's right.
Letting you guys lose.
Do stupid stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, goodness. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go use the restroom, I guess.
Yep.
Probably be the thing to do.
Much better. Suey! Suey! Hey, pig! No, you can't even do it right. Our Kansans know how to do it right.
Well, I don't want to do it real loud and obnoxious. Blow your guys' eardrums out. And make my wife come. What the fuck are you doing?
Your wife comes to the pig call?
Because I do some stupid shit, and she'd come like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
She doesn't come to the noises you make so much as the stupid stuff that they usually mean.
Hey, Alex, can you set us up with a loot handout?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if they got a treasure icon or something. Fat loot.
Fat loot.
Fat loots.
Yeah, it's this really big musical instrument that is stringed. You know, you gotta hold it in between.
It looks like I can add a file to it. Cool. I will find something appropriate.
Yeah, I gave you permission to do whatever you want with it, so.
Cool.
Sure, make the rogue the one in charge of the loot.
It's perfect sense.
Everyone has permissions.
Yeah.
That's good
Right.
sense, because who's going to protect the loot better than the rogue?
Mhm. So you are entering the Silk Tavern, and it is a fair amount of people. They have some bards playing, and some women that are entertaining through dancing and storytelling.
Jesus Christ.
Bane is a regular, so this is where he always wants to go. So he's regular here, and he says, Asta! Where are you, dear?
Oh! If it isn't my favorite pig!
I'm guessing if he's a regular here, I'm familiar at least with the bar staff. If for no other reason than because I've had to pay his tab before.
Oh, yes.
Hey, he pays his own tab.
Yeah, until you
most
run out of
the
money.
time.
And this larger, quite obvious half troll comes out of the crowd and gives a smile towards Bane.
Just going to have to turn her head sideways to kiss him. Look at that schnoz.
Just plant a big wet one on him.
He has no problem. He is like, "Mwah," right back.
Ugh.
Bane, where have you been?
Oh, you know, these two have been dragging me all over the place, keeping me away from my sweet one, the peaches or chicks. Come on. And he picks her full up and says, all right, let's go, you.
So charming.
And people are just like looking with big eyes that are not used to this.
What's the barman's name?
Eric.
Eric. It's going to be
Eric,
busy
start
next
my
week.
tab!
Yeah. You tell me when he runs out of money, and just cut him off.
Ah, yes, of course. I shall keep track.
Better, because we're not paying for his portion.
Yes,
Anything
and I
else
would
will be free for you.
and I would hate to have him work for us.
He would eat you at the house and home.
I am well aware. I am well aware.
Well, I will take 2 fingers of whiskey while we wait. It is a little early to turn in.
Did I hear 3 fingers of whiskey?
Yeah, sure.
And he pours you.
You hear from upstairs.
Oh God, make that like 6 fingers of whiskey. Put a whole hand. Give me
Of course.
a large clenched fist of whiskey.
And he serves you. Hey, Odin. Odin, anything I can get you?
The mead, please.
The mead. Warm or cold?
It doesn't matter.
I guess we'll see what comes out.
Is warm mead a thing?
It is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Never tried it warm.
It's kind of like drinking hot cider instead of cold cider.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to try that at home now.
Well, winter is coming. And he pours it. Better prepare.
How much do I owe you?
3 copper would do it.
I'll have another one after this, and you can keep the rest. I hand him a silver.
Generous as always.
Actually, Eric, just leave the bottle. This is going to take me a while. They've my strong dwarven constitution.
Yes. Strong dwarven constitution. And he rolls his eyes.
It's straight up a racial trait. It's not even.
It's in the books, damn you!
Rules as written say, oh no.
Roll your eyes at me.
Have you heard how they tried to invade us? The new gods.
Oh yeah?
Yes. They have their servants preach and try and change our ways.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yes. They are completely mongrels. Unfaithful, are they? We all know who made this world and who keeps it safe.
Oh, they tell people that the thrones change, just as they do with mortals.
I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that.
Fair enough, you cannot control what people believe.
Some people try, though.
Yes, they will always try. Eventually, they might even succeed.
Depends how long they keep up at it. I don't have anything specific in mind. Just that we're gonna spend the night here and leave in the morning. That's all I have in mind.
Alright. You're done?
There's
You intend to
plenty of
do
lovely
anything?
ladies, I'm sure. This is
Yeah.
the Silk Tavern.
Bane hasn't hogged them all.
Haha.
Oh.
Bernard's not in the habit of paying for anything he can get for free.
Ooh.
They may have cheap women, but not that cheap.
Prostitute was not exactly what I was talking about, but alright.
Just the normal bed for me, without the additional bed warmer.
Oh, alright. Suit yourself. Don't come and complain to me when you freeze.
Yes, I won't complain to you about crabs either.
Exactly.
Oh, get more loot.
That's right. Thought you guys might like that.
And the night passes. Is Bane rumbling around with more than Asta?
No, when he's with Asta, he doesn't. The others maybe, but not when he's with Asta. She's the only one that can handle his transformed state.
Oh
So-
my god. That is
Yeah.
way more than I, Kane, and the audience needed.
Oh, it's good to know. It's good to know Bane's into a woman that can manhandle him when he's he's in his prime. That's a thing that I know about Bane now that I did not know before. I did not want to know, but it's information is power, right?
Mm-hmm. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
There you go. So yeah, he's just with her.
Alright. So the morning comes. Some wake up earlier than others.
Yeah, you might want to go get Bane. He's probably sleeping quite heavily.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do this. No, God, I hope one of them is covering the other. I don't. That's
You're down breakfast already.
You're not sure what
Better you than me.
Ben. Ben, I swear to God, don't make me come in there.
He's gonna make me come in.
Please, here is still I beg of you. I'm still a young man. I have so much time left yet to start a family. Just don't make me see the naked after all.
Bernard, you can just come in.
Oh, God. God, you're decent?
Well, I am a decent woman.
Oh,
That's what you're
God.
asking.
That's a no.
Lies.
Alright, I'll come in, but he's got his hand over his eyes. Hello! Asta, how are you this morning?
Invigorated.
Yeah, I see that. I wish I did not.
Have you slept well, Bernard? You look tense.
No, it just we have work to do and we've got a deadline. It's all very busy. I want to get paid and I cannot. I need Bane. You know, he's got to be fighting fit. I don't know. It's
Bane's mine. Cannot have him. Not yet. I'm not done with him.
oh well. You've got an hour. I will be back after breakfast. 1 hour.
Yes,
I
yes.
leave and I'm gonna go get Aoten. Assuming you're not already
downstairs having
Yeah.
breakfast.
Alright.
I suppose she wakes him up, and there's a bit of a ruckus upstairs for about 30 or 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, yeah, after that bit of ruckus and some interesting sounds from upstairs,
5 minutes of squealing, 5 minutes of crying, and 20 minutes of getting dressed.
hey, he's got the constitution to go the distance. So
Yeah, but not the willpower.
hey, his will is a +1.
Right, so you get down. There is
There is a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
Pickled
There
fish
is.
on bread.
There are fish. There are bread. The fish is not pickled.
Aww.
It is
Fermented?
fresh though.
Oh, it's fresh.
Yeah.
What kind of Scandinavian game are you running?
Well, we'll get to the fermented fish sometime, maybe.
Maybe it's shark.
And there's a lot of porridge.
There was a lot of porridge. Bane is making his way towards the food.
I buy whatever the breakfast is for myself.
Eggs, sausage, bacon.
How much was the room?
I believe it's like 2 silver or something per room.
So is it 3 for the meal, or 3 for the room and meal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you eat.
Well, Bane will be
prepare.
eating, and he'll drop a gold for the meal in the room and stuff. Not want change. How much was the night with Asta? I assume that's not included in the room cost.
A
No,
pro bono.
It could be.
she charged you 7 gold.
Jesus.
I leave her 14.
Oh. Yeah, no wonder she's always so happy to see you. She overcharges and you pay her double.
Good woman, he slaps wet.
he's a needy customer.
Yeah, I heard.
That's right. Smacks the table.
So, do you set out immediately, or do you have anything you want to do before leaving?
Well, we need to pick up those extra parts for the wagon and the donkeys.
We can kind of gloss that over, though, if you're looking for us to get on the road.
Then I don't believe so. We haven't used up any resources we got when we made the character, so I think we're still good.
Yeah.
Alright. You pick up the donkeys and the parts, and you have been given instructions as to how the wagon looks like and where it is supposedly been left.
So, something I didn't do for character creation and that I kind of wanted to ask about is magical healing. Is that fairly uncommon, or?
Like with all kinds of magic, it is uncommon.
Are we looking at standard price for potions, or do you want us to roll to see if we can even find said potions, or if I had found said potions for character creation?
Well, for character creation, you could have started off with potions, definitely, because you would have time to find someone.
Alright, then I'm going to erase that from gold and add it. I just didn't want to be like, yeah, I got healing potions, and then you're like, well, you know.
No,
These cost 3 times as much.
Exactly.
That's why I bought all my wands during character creation.
So, today's weather is slightly raining, a bit of wind.
Put the cover over the wagon. We'll be okay.
Why are you covering up? It's a shower. See? Free. No pay.
Well, then you walk.
Into it. Yeah.
If only you invested as much money in soap as you do in whores.
Soap is less enjoyable.
Not for you, maybe for everyone else around you.
It is a pleasure, a godsend.
Well, when the soap can do what Asta does, you let me know.
Nope. Don't want to think about it.
And the day kind of passes. You meet a couple of people on the road, but as you're getting closer to Grimm's Hills, there are no roads per se. There are more like trails, and there are no people that you meet.
Okay. That's a little weird. Otherwise, there would be less traffic the closer to winter we get.
Stormer and Sylvain are having words again.
No, you know, sometimes I wish they would just shut up.
So do you sleep in the wagon? Or do you have any type of tents or anything?
I don't have tents.
Or how do you set up for the night, basically?
Bernard's going to sleep in the wagon.
Alright.
Bane's going to try to sleep in the wagon.
You sleep on top of the flower.
You have first watch.
What? I walked all day in the rain.
I don't trust to wake you up and then have you fall asleep again.
Ah, fine. I'm still invigorated from earlier anyway.
Gross.
Good night, have pleasant dreams with that. Sits down by the fire. He takes out a piece of bone, starts scrimshawing on it.
I try to find a dry patch and I cover my bow up, make sure it doesn't get wet.
Alright. Bane can make a perception check.
Oh, not all that good. 9 plus 8, so 17.
Well, you sit there and you carve into your bone, and you hear a flock of birds flying south for the winter.
Oh,
Does it sound like they were stirred up, or does it just sound like they had been coming for a while?
No, they've been coming for a while, but you didn't notice them until they were right above you.
Ah. I was just really intent on the scrimshaw, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Gotta make it look good. Bernard has told me that they're the ones that get the best, look the best.
And your watch seems to go by without any incident.
Who was supposed to be second watch?
I could do.
Alright. So, Bernard, Bane comes up, and he smiles for a second, and he gets like right by your ear, away from you, so that if you flail real quick, you won't hit him. And he says, "Oh my gosh, Bernard, get up! It's crazy! Oh, help us, Bernard!"
I hear him doing this crap, or is he quiet enough just to...
I'm not sure he can startle me awake without being loud enough for other people to hear.
Well, yeah, it's yelling.
Ah.
I throw a dirt clod at him.
Oh, why? Look at his face.
Protect the
He
syrup!
doesn't even.
Protect the syrup!
Bane is
was
just
classy.
laughing. He doesn't care that dirt was thrown at his head and probably hit him pretty easily. He's just like, that was worth it. So it's your it's your turn. What are you crazy about?
You know exactly what you did.
I have no idea, he says, laughing. Laughing his butt off. I can't even lie. That was hilarious. Same sir. Oh, gets me every time.
Get to bed. Don't even. I don't have time for you right now.
He just gets into bed. He gets on top of the flower, but after a while he'll sneak onto your bed if you do not pack it up.
No, it's not a badge. It's just a blanket.
He'll sleep on your blanket if you don't pack it up.
Well, it's cold outside. He'll take the blanket with him.
Ah, okay.
All right. So Bernard can roll a perception.
Mm-hmm. Whoop. 19.
You notice that there are a pack of wolves not too far away,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't seem to be moving towards you, not for the moment at least.
Alright, I will keep an eye on it. Will I quickly look up my domain powers?
Apart from that, there are a couple of sounds of the nature, but it is fairly calm as the night goes on,
Mm-hmm.
and your watch is over.
Okay. When I wake Eowyn, or I might as well just Eowyn.
Yes.
It is time. Last watch of the night.
Okay, I'm up.
Yeah. You
Is
should
the ring
probably
still-
build. You should probably build up the fire. I think I seen wolves around.
They shouldn't bother us with the fire. Go get the rest of your sleep.
Yeah.
So, last watch, I start getting a pan warm and put on some water to boil, build up the fire a little bit, not anything crazy, but enough to take care of our needs. And then once that stuff is going, I'll start walking my rounds. Is it still raining?
The rain has stopped.
Shake out the clothes, make sure that my bow is dry and everything. Make sure that my other gear is dry.
And you can roll a perception check.
19.
It seems to be very calm. You hear the distant howling of wolves that Bernard told you about, but it seems to be very far away now. Apart from that, there is nothing to be alarmed of. And in due time, dawn comes.
Alright, when it starts getting to be dawn time, that's when I start putting on some oat farls and whatever dried meat we have. And then if we have anything cool like berries or any honey or anything.
Well, you're traveling with a spice merchant.
Yeah. So I break into his honey that he uses for like regular use. Not the stuff for selling.
Alright.
How dare you?
It's the regular stores that you used for rations. Be quiet.
Oh no, that's not what happens. See, he buys us the cheap stuff. He buys us the cheap stuff. He sells the good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff is worth more money. That's why I sell the good stuff.
Yeah, I don't break
Bane's still
into
trying to
any
talk
of
to him
his.
about.
I don't break into any of his syllables. Once the food's almost ready and everything, I put on some mint or something in the water and then start rousing them. Get up. Nudge his ass with my foot. Get up. A little harder.
No, not now, Esther. Not now. No.
We go and grab a blunt stick and I prod him hard in the place where the sun doesn't shine.
Oh, it's not what I paid for. Oh.
No.
I didn't pay for that. Bernard, wake up. Tis dawn.
Oh, God, already?
Hot farls and fruit and honey and mint tea.
Food, that's the favorite.
And salted beef.
Gross. You are like a cook also?
Nope. All of my stuff is really simple, real simple food. Farls are like wet oats and basically oat pancakes is damn near what it amounts to. Or oat biscuits.
Bane goes and gets his stuff. No, to really top this off, some mead and some maple syrup. I'm just saying.
And then get your damn maple syrup.
Aha. Which one? There's none open.
The one that he always sets aside.
Oh, that was for later? Alright, I'll eat honey then.
Tell me you didn't drink all the regular maple syrup.
I didn't drink it. No, I was following behind the wagon and I started to smell something tasty. I was just looking for
Wander off in disgust.
What?
You're going to get fat. How is your half-troll going to climb over you if you've got a big fat belly?
Hey, that's not funny. He lifts his shirt and starts looking at his gut. No.
Did he eat all of my maple syrup?
No, just the one that you had set aside.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
It was just the one that was sitting, little one. Did not eat your stuff.
You're going to sleep lightly for the next week.
It was just, it was not the good stuff you sell. I did not do that. No, I know better. Cross heart. Unless you want to open one, then we can open one.
No, we will not.
Oh.
Glad he's got more of a penchant for your maple syrup than your honey. At least there's some of that left.
Well, that's not cheap either.
Right. I assume that you begin traveling after this argument.
There's lots of those.
There are lots.
It's kind of like a cycle, you know. You got to have one a day, or one every little bit, or it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It just feels too stale.
And as you are traveling, you notice that the landscape begins to change in its structure. You see that more and more trees are shooting up to the sky, and it's becoming more uneven ground.
Okay.
And before you make a stop, the cold is embracing you with an unpleasant mist.
I suppose it is time to earn my keep. I'm gonna range ahead of these guys by about 100 meters.
All right.
Guess I'll be looking for tracks or anything out of the usual.
Gotcha. Can make a
Survival.
survival. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me set it up here. I hate these frickin' macros. Roll better with real dice.
Well, you don't find it too hard to navigate through the mist, and you manage to lead the wagon out of any hazards or such that it could potentially run into. And eventually you reach the point where you would normally make a stop for the day.
Just for like a midday rest or...
No, for the end of the day.
Okay. Alright, well, since we're a little more off the beaten path, I'm actually going to range out probably about a half a mile in each direction, make kind of like a circle.
Bane says to bring back a deer if you can find one.
Yes, yes. You know, I always try.
Look for some venison tonight.
So
There are some spices in there. I saw them.
Yes, those are not for eating.
this will be a mix of me trying to move stealthily and also tracking in the area / hunting. So I'm pulling like a couple rolls going on here.
All right.
What would you like?
Well, a stealth check and a survival check.
Here's stealth. Here's survival. Nice. 18 for the stealth, 21 for survival.
So you manage to blend into the mist and move about. You don't actually find any tracks of recent game in the area. In fact, apart from one set of trails, probably the people that left the wagon, you can discern that this is probably 2 days old.
Well, it meets about the time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are humanoid footprints. Tracks?
There are humanoid footprints and wagon tracks.
Are they heading anywhere unusual, or is it just on the normal road?
No, they seem to have used the ordinary road.
Okay. But no sign of anything else?
No.
I'm going to have to listen to his bitching about no game. Alright, well, after I make my full circuit, I end up heading back in.
Alright. You can all make a perception check.
Holy shit.
15 for Ben.
Damn! 3 nat 20s! 3 nat 20s in one session.
So far.
Those crits are
I'm waiting for it to swing the other way.
Yeah.
Fate will have her turn.
So, before the sun has banished the raw night air, Eoden noticed that a man has liberated himself from the mist and is standing next to a large tree some distance away from you. His brown cloaks are tightly wrapped around his body, and a gleaming silver buckle holds together the clothes. The man looks pale and old, very old. In what seems to be an eternity, he just stands there, staring at you, and then to just be engulfed by the fog. But just before he disappears, he raises his gnarly rod and points it towards Eoden. And then a chilly wind wraps over the landscape, and the fog becomes, for a moment, so dense that you cannot even see the own hand if you hold your arm outstretched.
Alright, good. Can't see my hand in front of my face.
Bernard,
What?
Bane,
Came up quickly.
Bernard,
Ooh.
Bane, do you see him?
See what?
Ooh, ooh.
Holy shit, I can't see anything in this fog.
This is just you trying to get out of talking about the Venus.
No, he looked like the old druids.
What? No. That is not good.
How
Not friendly around here all the time.
how often do people see druids?
Considering they're part of the old religion.
Yeah.
Is there a knowledge check, like history, or?
Religion would probably be the...
Religion or local.
No, I don't have local, so I'll make a religion.
I have local.
Modified 20 for knowledge religion.
Modified 20 for local.
Well, druids are quite rare to find, and usually they are where there are an abundance of natural beauty in either way. It could be a blooming forest or a large mountainside. But out here, so close to civilization, it would be quite rare.
Then something must have drawn him here.
Pointed a stick at me and then gone. Mist swallowed him up.
Ah, then it's his mist.
Aiden makes the different signs of Stormir, Solveig, and Yorn.
All right. The mist becomes slightly lighter as time passes, but it's still very hard to see in front of you.
Don't know how well we're
This is
going to sleep
unnatural.
tonight.
I may have something. Supposed to be down at the bottom here. Nope. There's no way to clear this fog. But we cannot simply stay here. We must continue. Try to follow the road.
It is almost dark.
Hmm.
And in this fog, we are just as likely to end up lost.
Fair point. Perhaps we should make camp again. Keep close to the wagon.
What was the old man doing?
He was just watching.
Where was he? Should we look?
There was a lone tree. Out
You
that
remember,
way.
you remember where the tree was, but you can't point it out because you cannot see it.
It was over that way there. But I don't want to walk away from the wagon in this weather here.
True.
I'll check it out when it is clear in the morning.
Well, all right.
Hmm.
I hope your god protects you as well as the old gods protect us.
Doubt it.
Yara still provides me tricks should I need them.
Alright. So you make camp. So you make camp, and do you have the same guard schedule as last night?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a problem with it.
You want us to just drop perception rolls right now?
Sure. That works.
Baines is a 19. And he's watching, but he's not doing scrimshaw today. He is just watching these prickles on the back of his neck standing.
23.
Well, Bane, you don't see anything, and you don't hear anything. It is very quiet, and after an hour, 2 hours, it feels very unnecessary for you to keep watch, because it's as if nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens.
Too quiet. There's no birds. There's no insects. There's no wolves or nothing. At least some howling, something. He gets kind of nervous and starts pacing around.
You stay close to the wagon, or do you go further out?
He stays fairly close to the wagon. Yeah, he stays fairly close to the wagon to where he can see it. But he doesn't venture much farther than that. He does glance several times over in the direction to where he said the tree was.
I mean, when you've looked at the place where the tree is supposedly to be, eventually you imagine that there is a tree. You're pretty sure that there is a tree somewhere out there. It looks like the shape of a tree in the mist. Yeah.
On one of his paces that was slightly farther away, he looks back at the wagon, looks over there. It's the wagon, looks over there. This is a bad idea. He takes out his rope, ties into the wagon, ties it into his waist. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Looks over the tree where he thinks it is. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. He starts to walk slowly towards it, staying on guard, ready to change at any moment. He won't go past the extent of his rope if he can help it.
So you get to the end of the rope, and you are certain that the tree is just a couple of feet further. But the rope is forcing you to where you are. You cannot reach any further.
How wide was the road?
The what?
How wide was the road?
The trail of the road trail that you're traveling on is just a wagon wide.
2-track, yay!
So he knows he's already gone past the border of the road because he's got like 100 feet or something like that of rope. So he goes back to the wagon, sees if he can rummage around for some more rope.
All right.
Digs in some more rope, ties one end to the other, ties it in around his waist again, and goes back out. A little bit faster this time.
And suddenly you hear in the distance a crow, and then it becomes completely silent again.
The cackles on the back of his neck creep up, and he's like, nope, 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 nope. Go. He follows the rope back, puts everything back, and sits back down in front of the fire. Nope, nope, nope.
And with that, his watch is over.
He almost went out there. Almost got the best of him. He doesn't play a trick on Bernard this time. He just goes, Bernard.
What?
Short turn.
Oh, alright. I'm going.
It's been quiet. It's been too quiet. Just move.
Oh, good.
He lays down, but you can see that his eyes are pretty well open. He doesn't seem like he's going to get to sleep very soon.
Hmm.
Don't go out in the mist. Don't go out in the mist.
Why would I do that? I already
Don't
said
know.
to stay by the wagon.
I don't know. Just don't do it.
Alright.
And on your watch, it is very silent. It is almost completely silent if it wasn't for the wind that blows a couple of times. But apart from that, there is no sound.
Hmm. It's true. It's very quiet. He maybe even starts to nod off a little bit because it's so boring.
Yes, there's absolutely nothing going on. There's just this thick fog you get eventually tired of looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And your watch passes
Early morning. Ilden. Ilden. Shakes it away.
Eonan's like damn near instantly up.
Yep. It's bedtime.
I don't know how you could tell.
Well, either it's time or I'm going to fall asleep, so.
Yes, yes.
and for Aiden, it is completely silent. There is not even the wind blowing. And you kind of have to make a sound yourself just to make sure that you still can hear.
I build the fire up maybe bigger than necessary so that it crackles and pops. Maybe rattle the pans and stuff a tiny bit
Alright.
as I go about the normal morning setup. I end up burning the oak farls.
And time passes and you assume that it is morning. It's hard to tell. There's no sun. No birds.
Bernard, Bane, wake up.
Bane gets up pretty quick today.
Bernard's pretty sluggish about it. He's too quiet. I do not sleep so well.
Half-heartedly gestures at the pan and stuff. It looks sort of edible.
Bane just looks around warily and eats his. Doesn't even comment on it being burnt. Finishes rather quickly and says, "So we're really leaving now, right?"
Not yet.
As you are
What?
eating your breakfast, apart from the sounds of you chewing, it is quiet, abnormally quiet. You hear your own respiration as a whisper in the damp morning air. The fog lies like a white blanket over the landscape, and a sparse light is looking down, breaking the mist. And you look up and see that it is piercing the tree canopy with embracing branches that cast strange shadows, and the fog disperses, and you see that a forest is rising like an ancient guardian around you. Impressive pine trees with a range greater than 3 grown men soar like the forest protector. What or who they are protecting, you dare not even dream of. Everything is covered with moss, thick, damp moss that clung to the landscape since the forest was young. From the moss moist inner blast yellow, tiny yellow mushrooms and vegetation forward. The pine needles lies thick on the forest bed, and you understand that under this verdant surface, the woods are brewing on many secrets. A hooting breaks the silence, but disappears as quickly as it gave sound. A dry twig breaks somewhere nearby. Vainly you glance with frightened eyes into the dark woods to see who it could have been. The shadows stay silent and refuse to reveal their secret. Never have any of you seen such witchy and untamed nature before. It is as if it had been untouched since the dawn of time. And this forest has grown wilder and wilder as the seasons have passed.
Did one of you move us in the night?
No. I didn't move
Our
anything.
campfire is right there.
Yes, you made campfire on the moss.
Is that tree still visible?
That tree is not there, but there are a lot of other trees.
The tree I saw is gone.
How would you know?
I want to look at the type of trees that we're around. Are these the copper trees that grow in Wildheart?
These do not appear to be the copper trees. These are ordinary trees, but they are very old and very large.
That witchman must have moved us.
Bernard clambers into the wagon and retrieves his bow and strings it. Well, wherever we are, we're not on the road anymore.
I go behind where we were and try and discern our own tracks.
You have not left any tracks.
There are no tracks.
How is that possible?
It's not.
He was the witchman.
What, and this witchman, he flew us here?
Hey. Strange things, eh? They happen.
I would like to try and discern direction.
Alright.
15 survival.
There are very sparse amount of sunlight, but you think you know where north is.
Can't tell for sure with these damnable trees, but I believe that way is north.
Let me
Although
see
we
if I can
don't know
climb
where
up
we're at, so that doesn't do us much good.
Let me see if I can climb to the top. of a tree, see if I can get some bearings on where my might be and all that.
All right. Make a climb check.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Well, sure. I mean, how hard can it be?
No,
He
don't stop
says,
him.
looking up.
I mean, I can do that if you like.
No, please let him try. He needs to learn.
Okay.
I gotta go get
So
the dog again. He's pitching a fit.
Are you sure you want to climb that?
Well, we need to find out, yeah?
It's your ass.
15 plus 5 is 20.
It is pretty easy to climb these trees, especially when you get higher up. But these are very tall trees, and you climb and climb, and you look up, and you're not completely sure if you actually gained any distance.
I look down and see if I gained any distance.
You have gained distance. You are farther up, but the canopy are still very far away.
I'm not at the top yet. Should I still keep going, or you want me to come down?
Does it, like, how far up this tree is he? From down here, can we see?
He's probably 60 feet, maybe.
Yeah, come back down. These trees are too tall. We will see nothing.
I could make it. He says, not wanting to seem like he's a quitter.
You will break yourself in half.
No, I wouldn't.
I will not pay a paraplegic.
Hey, that is discrimination.
You're still not getting paid.
He starts coming down.
You managed to get down without hurting yourself. You can all roll me a d10.
Whoop.
Hopefully higher is better, because I got a max 10. Probably not, but
We're gonna find out.
that's how many enemies we have to fight.
Yep.
It's 18. 18 of them, huh? Should add them all
You're
together.
muted, Joe. You're muted, Joe.
Oops.
Yeah.
I left a modifier on mine on accident.
Yeah, that's no
Got a
problem.
mathematically impossible number.
I roll 13 out of 10. Because I'm that good.
The forest explodes. Reality rips itself apart. We're all dead.
That's before I've even taken off my loincloth. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the innuendos. So we have to fight like 18 goblins at once. Okay, we're level 4. We can do this.
Hopefully not. Well, you are in this enormous forest without knowing exactly where you are. Either way you look, there are just thick woods, moss-covered rocks.
Well, I think we should figure out what direction were we traveling before the fog showed up.
You were
We're
traveling
traveling
east.
northeast.
I think we should find northeast and travel it if we can.
Well, we're a totally different place now.
Mm.
Would be better to travel south if we're in any of the. We look at our map of Edgeland, because we know how. If we look at the map of Edgeland, we know we're from here. We know how it lays out. It would probably be best for us to head east to west, because if we're in any of these tendrils or the copper forest down low, then east to west would be the shortest distance out of the forest.
Well, you said it doesn't look like we're in the Copperwood, so it was probably more likely we were somewhere in the Vildhjarta. So yeah, east or west. If we're in that forest, then going west would take us towards Grimskular.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast about for tracks.
Looking for tracks.
Hey, campaign crossover, man. Hey, we do not want to fight Traxor in this setting. This setting, Traxor would wreck us. He's got
27.
magic sword.
You do not find any tracks. In fact, as you are looking about, you look back and do not find your own tracks after you've been walking around for a bit. They seem to be disappearing after a while.
Look, you see that?
No, I don't see anything.
City folk.
The cackles on the back of Bane's neck do stand up. Just so,
No, but that's the point. There's no tracks. I don't see anything.
Well, I can try and keep our direction wherever we decide to go.
Do we see the sun from down here?
You can see glimpses of it now and then.
Well, then we should be able to figure out east and west at least.
you know what's really gonna make Bernard mad is we can't drive the wagon through this.
I don't know about that.
He wants to clear down logs that are like this big around to get the wagon through.
I think we could, you know, we just have to be careful. It'll hold together. I think so.
At
So
least
which
we have a
direction
couple
are we
asses
going?
to ride.
How long can I keep this wagon going through this terrain before it either gets stuck or breaks?
Well, which direction?
Let me see west.
Western sounds good to me.
Okay, west. Is that 27 tied me over for determining west
Yeah.
and picking out a path that's at least wide enough and relatively smooth for his wagon
Yeah,
for as long as we're able.
there is no smooth road or way, but there is at least that you can find a path that is possible for his wagon to pass through. You have to, at times, remove some of the foliage to pass, but it is a bumpy ride.
I'm willing to break
Casks in
down.
the back knock back and forth noisily.
Mhm.
I'm sure that
I'm willing
Bernard
to
is looking
break
back
down
there.
parts of the wagon, and I'm fairly confident I can coerce the animals to pull it through this terrain.
Periodically, I'll keep checking our direction, make sure we're mostly going westward.
So after an hour or two of walking, it's kind of hard to tell. You also notice that west kind of shifts in a weird way. Sometimes you're walking in the western direction, but then you suddenly realize that you're actually walking north, and you have to redirect yourselves. But
I don't share these revelations with the others.
all right,
You're a bad navigator.
I'm a good navigator, I'm just superstitious. And I don't want you guys panicking on me.
The over-emotional barbarian panicking on you.
So I start turning us north just to see. Does the direction change if I do that?
eventually it does.
It starts shifting around too.
Yep.
Hell. I stop.
Why are we stopping?
The direction keeps changing.
What? No, there, see, the same direction.
Believe me, I know.
Eldon, what do you mean? We've been walking the straight line for hours.
I mean that we are going where the gods will us to go.
So you're lost.
Well, of course we're lost. We have no clue where we are. I am keeping us to direction. But it's changing.
Oh, what do we do?
I will keep walking us west, but I think we are going wherever the gods take us.
A glimmer comes into Bane's eye, and he says, "You know, if we are in Wildheart, we could go looking for the fountain."
We can't even look for where we are. What makes you think
Well,
we'll find some mythical fountain in the middle of all this?
I just throwing something out there. Trying to find a silver lining, but no one wants to find silver lining. Everyone to be doom and gloom.
You're as bad as the children in the tavern.
The halflings were fine. I don't know what children you're talking about. He legitimately thought they were halflings in his drunken state.
Alright, so I try to keep us on a westerly course. Can't talk.
Eventually, a shiny object awakens your senses from the forest's hypnotic attraction. Suddenly, the forest is glistering from sunlight and copper. The moment feels magical when the sun's rays cut down from the forest canopy and hit the ground and the copper coins that is scattered around on the moss bed. In front of you, large chunks of darkness are breaking up the terrain, and a huge cave opening in a rock wall is inviting you a new landscape for a change.
Alright, in the cave we go.
You guys see these?
Lots of copper on the ground. Why would someone leave copper all around? He looks up at the trees to make sure again that they're not.
Or that they are copper trees.
Well, maybe someone came through here before us.
Who comes into the forest to throw pennies around?
I'm gonna use perception for finding traps. Just kind of survey this scene. Ooh, fantastic roll.
Well, it just seems that someone has strewn around a just immense amount of copper. And then there is this huge cave all of a sudden.
Is there any noise coming from the cave?
There's no noise from the cave. You hear a woodpecker somewhere in the distance, but other than that, it's fairly quiet.
Scout around, not going into this little clearing. Good lord, that's 2 2s in a row. So I'm assuming
Hey,
I don't
we're
see
having
any
20s.
tracks.
Probably not, since the forest was already absorbing the tracks anyway.
So you said there's dark patches on the floor, on the forest floor?
Well, the amount of light is very limited, so it leaves big chunks of just darkness that you cannot see what it hides.
It's the despair. I guess it's the disparity between the intensity of the light
Yeah.
and the lack of it.
Well, this is the only thing we've seen for some time.
Maybe the fountain's in there.
Either way, I say we go in. It's the only thing we've seen other than trees for what feels like an eternity.
Yes, well, be that as it may, wait here a moment. I'm gonna creep forward. All sneaky like.
Alright.
Yay! 23.
There we go.
So you are moving towards the cave entrance.
And I'll stop every couple feet check for snares or tracks or traps or anything like that.
Alright. There seems to be more copper as you come closer. And just as you are about to peek into the cave, cliffhanger.
No, the worst kind of trap at all.
And we'll see what the cave holds next time